So moving along, we're going to go to the next one. Okay. So this is another brand of this beef, so-called beef sausage, right? Which is beef Polska, okay, kielbasa, right? So once again, our people think, oh, this is beef, it's healthier. Or if you're trying to be kosher or non-haram, you're going to say, oh, okay, this is good, it's beef, right? We don't have to worry about anything that's not kosher or haram, right? But when you look at it, once again, just like the last one, okay, you have corn syrup, which is GMO corn. And then you have soy protein, which is GMO soy. It derived from soy. And then you have natural flavors, right? Which is another code word for swine, okay? So you got pork in there too, and GMOs. And then, of course, you have monosodium glutamate, once again, right? And then you have soy, okay? So this stuff is poison again too, man, right? But a lot of people look at that. They look at that big beef word and say, oh, it's beef, it's kosher, it's halal. We don't have to worry about it. We don't have to worry about breaking the Most High's dietary law, right? But you're breaking it all the way around, man. Not only are you eating, supposedly or suspectedly pork, which is natural favorite, but you also have the GMO, which is the mingled seed. Okay, so those two things that you have to avoid there when you're eating this so-called beef here, man, right? And then you have this right here, of course, right, which is another favorite, right, in which you can flavor your milk with. Okay, you have your so-called strawberry flavor syrup here, right? So a lot of people giving their kids this right here. It's good, it's sweet, the color is cool, it's red, it turns the milk pink, right? Depending on the level of syrup you put in it, right? And it tastes good, right? But when you look to the rear, as it says here, high fructose corn syrup, once again, right? And then more corn syrup. And then it says less than 2% artificial flavor, right? Sodium benzoate, okay? And then, of course, you have red 40, all right, which is from the cochineal bug, the unclean cochineal bug, right? And then we already read up on what red 40 does to you, okay? What it does to you physically and psychologically, okay? And affects your nerve system, all right? And then on top of that, if I'm not mistaken, don't this says strawberry flavor, okay? Although it says artificial flavor written under it, and which is not highlighted, but still, all in all, it's supposed to be strawberries in this, right? But when you look at the ingredients, where's the strawberry, right? Where's the strawberry, man? Right? I see red 40. Okay, I see high fructose corn syrup and more corn syrup, right? But I don't see no strawberry. Okay, see, a lot of our people got to pay attention, man. They got to pay attention, right? Look at this right here, chocolate syrup, right? So of course, this is like a real big time favorite. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our people like to give their children this right here. They love it, right? But when you go to the back, okay, it's all haram, man, non-kosher, right? High fructose corn syrup, right? And then you have here mono and diglycerides, man, right? More pork, right? Polysorbate 60, right? Pork on top of pork, right? Vanillin, right? What the hell is vanillin? It don't even say vanilla, right? Vanillin. What the hell is vanillin, man? Right? Crazy. All of this stuff in here, right? All of this in here. Okay, but our people are feeding them, they're kidding themselves this, man, right? Wow, man, this stuff is unkosher, man. Right? This is the reason why I don't buy certain things, man. Okay? But this is an all-time favorite. This is what our people love, man. I think that's like the last picture, right? So all of this stuff right here, man, our people buy, man, on an everyday basis and feed themselves this, man, right? Even the breads, just like I showed before, you think it's healthy. You know, a lot of people like to use this for grilling out, right? They get that right there. But what it says, monoglycerides, man, right? Wheat, gluten, make you lazy, right? Soy lecithin, GMO, contains soy, okay? Mingled seed, GMO, right? Pork up in there, right? The Wonder Bread, right? Look at that. Slocky for being sideways, but you can see it right there. Monodiglycerides, man, and more monoglycerides. Okay, soybean oil right there, man, right? Okay, soy lecithin right there, right? It's a little folded, but you can see the S and the Y. Of course, you're going to see the zero or the O Slovakia beside it if you take the crease out of it, right? So yeah, man, all this stuff is bad for you, man. All of it is bad. That's the reason why we got to do our due diligence, man, right? The tortillas, okay? Now, these are good. They soft. You know, you throw these bad boys in the oven or whatever, or, you know what I'm saying, you put it on a pan, you know, throw some olive oil in there, let it sizzle with the olive oil, right? But when you look at this right here, man, this stuff is hot out, man. Look, mono and diglycerides, man. Pork, right? Cornstarch, GMO corn, mingled seed, right? A lot of this stuff, man. And yo, you can make a lot of this stuff at home, man. This stuff is very easy, simple to make, man. You just got to have the patience, okay, and the know-how to do this stuff, man. And this stuff is very easy, and it tastes good when it's made at home. And then you're going to want to do it more often, right? This is going to stop your chances of buying these things with all of these unclean byproducts in them, man, or going out to eat. You know, when you just have the patience and the know-how to make things yourself, man, right? And then not only that, you got to be clean too. You know what I'm saying? You got to wash your meats, man. Wash your hands constantly when you're eating, man, right? I don't know, maybe I might be a little OCD, who knows, man, but, you know, just as the Christian says, man, the so-called Christian, you know, cleanliness is next to godliness, man, right? So you got to stay clean, right? No one's perfect. No one's going to be 100% clean all the time. I do understand that, man. But when it comes to your consumption and your health, man, you at least want to make sure that you're in tip-top shape. And on top of that, man, and make sure things is good. You know what I'm saying? Right? So all of this stuff is bad for you, man. All of this stuff. And then when you walk into your supermarkets, all of these things are at the forefront for our people to get, man. And unfortunately, a lot of people is going to fall victim to buying these things just because they don't do their due diligence, man, right? So we're going to get into a little bit of scripture here. We're going to go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14. Okay. And as it's written, right? Starting from verse 3. Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing, meaning an abhorrent thing, a hateful thing to the Most High, right? So if you jump down, it says, nevertheless, these ye shall not eat of them that cheweth the cud, or of them that divideth the cloven hoof, as the camel, right? So that's strike one for Islam. right? Because if you're in dire needs, or if you're desperate, or if you're going through a famine in your country, your native country, they permit you to eat the camel, right? But the Most High says you're not supposed to eat the camel. Okay, so they're not really fully following the laws of their forefather Abraham. Okay, because the God of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob says that you're not supposed to eat the camel. But in Islam, they tell you that you can eat the camel if you're desperate or in dire needs, right? When it says, and the hare, right, which is the rabbit, the bunny, right? You're not supposed to be eating that. A lot of our people like to eat rabbit stew, right? Or the coney. For they chew the cud and divideth not the hoof. Therefore, they are unclean to you. Meaning that they don't have sophisticated digestive systems, right? It's simple, right? Their bodies don't break down the foods properly. They don't properly digest it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how all of the germs just gets trapped into their bloodstream and then their flesh, right? And then of course it says right here, and the what? The swine, okay? Because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, meaning it don't have a complicated digestive system, right? It is unclean to you. Now, unlike the cow and the goat and the lamb, they have sophisticated digestive systems. I think it says something like the cow have, I'm not too sure, like 2 or 3 stomachs. Could be more, could be less, something like that. You know, so they have a very sophisticated digestive system. They break down the food properly, okay? And plus they don't eat unclean. You know, cows, they're not scavengers like the swine is, which is known as the pig or the hog or the warthog, right? Those are the scavengers of the land. And then of course you have the scavengers of the sea, which is the shellfish and the octopus, you know, your crustacean fish, right? So it says right here in continuation again, and the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. So we're not even supposed to be touching these things, man, right? Even in a supermarket, you're not even supposed to be picking up swine in a pack, man, right? Now, a lot of people may beg to differ, the ones that eat swine. Oh, well, you know, the pigs now, you know, when they take them to the slaughterhouse, they don't just get them from the wilderness. They don't get them from the woods, man. They raise them in farms and, you know, and they feed them cleaner things. They don't eat dead stuff, man. But how do you know that's true? You know, all of the stuff that they're feeding the pigs in these farms, how do you know they're not feeding them grinded up things of dead animals, man? Because they know that's in the pig's nature to eat those things. That's how the Most High naturally made them, created them to eat these type of things. So of course they're still going to give them these type of things to eat, but just grind it up. And you know, they add a little soy protein to it, which is derived from soy, by the way, and soybeans and all that stuff like that, man, right? Just like they give a majority of the animals that's in these farms today. But fortunately for the clean animals, you know, they have, it's like I said, sophisticated digestive systems, so they can break certain things down, you know, and their bodies can still remain clean. Okay, this is, Christ said, you know, it's not what goes into the body, it's what coming out of the body that makes a person unclean, right? So the pigs, the swine, they're naturally unclean right off the bat. That's just the way the Most High made them. But if a cow was to eat something unclean, or a chicken or a turkey, you know, or a sheep, in which more than likely they won't, it's not going to defile them because they're naturally clean animals. They're eatable animals, or edible animals, as I should say, you know, ordained by the Most High. So whatever they eat, it's not going to make them clean. Now, if they become sick, you know, physically sick, or, you know, if a cow was to get like so-called mad cow disease, or, you know, the chicken, the poultry get bird flu, or the turkey, then they're unclean. Then they're not fit for consumption. That's when they become unclean, right? But naturally, they're not unclean animals, man. Right? Now, you're going to have some people that's going to beg to differ with the chicken and the turkey. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's up for debate, right? And then also it says right here, these ye shall eat of all that are in the waters, All that have fins and scales ye shall eat, and whatsoever have not fins and scale, which is your shellfish, right, ye may not eat, it is unclean to you. Now, just to make a clear distinction about this, this is talking about the fish that have overlapping fins and scales. You know, the scales that's easy to pull off. Like you could just rub the fish down the side and the scales just easily come off. That's the fish that the Most High is talking about, that we're able to eat, or that we're permitted to eat. We're not talking about the fish that have the scales that's permanently attached to the fish. You know what I'm saying? They don't fall off easily. They don't shed easily. You know, those scales, they stay on that fish forever and ever until they die or something like that. Those are the unclean fish. Those are the predatory fish. But the fish that have the scales that you can just rub off, you don't even need a scraper, it just naturally comes right off. Those are the clean fish that we can eat, man, right? But of course, you know, the shellfish, we're not supposed to eat the lobster, the crab, the shrimp, the brine shrimp, the mussels, the crab, the lobster, whatever, man, the octopus, the calamari salad, you know, the caviar, you know, the creeping fish way at the bottom of the ocean and the seas, the eel, in which they mix in and mingle in the salmon with, right, to make them bigger and grow faster for profit, right? You can't even eat salmon no more, man. And especially the tilapia. The tilapia is like a frankenfish, man. You're not even supposed to eat that, right? I've been stopped eating those things a long time ago, man. And I think the Most High, that He awakened me to that, so I don't even look in the direction of those fish, man, right? So, you know, I say that not to scare anyone. There's still the fish out there that's biblically clean that you can eat if you can find it. But unfortunately, the powers that shouldn't be, man, they're mixing and mingling a lot of things, man. They mixing the clean with the unclean, and it's making it unfit for consumption, man, right? So I'm going to end that there, man. You know what I'm saying? So this, like I said, this video was an extension of the dietary law that I've done a few years ago. And also concerning, you know, the Defcon 3 thing that Kanye West posted up. Like I was saying earlier in the video, I really don't see, you know, what's the frenzy and the craze about him just posting that. And he didn't even do anything concerning Defcon 3, right? If you go back into it again, in which I will, Salakia. Right? You know, everyone wants to punish him and say, oh, he's this, he's that, you know, he's anti this and anti that. But he haven't done anything concerning Defcon 3, right? You know, it's a military term that's used for if you're going to engage in warfare, or if you're going to just go back to normal status and become on alert to what's going on around you, right? So, like I showed early in the video, this is what this is, man. This is all of the levels of Defcon, for those who may not be aware, right? It's a military term. And then it says the exercise term, which is roundhouse, which is a round sweep of the area that's around you. Okay. And then it says Air Force, 15 minutes to mobilization means to set in motion, to make mobile, to make a move, right? You know, just like I said before, you know, like for the ground troops, which is the Marines or the Army, if they feel that they're being overcome by their opposition, they can place a call to the base to let them know, hey, you know, send in the Air Force, send in the planes, you know, let's bomb these guys. You know, we can't really do too much against them on the ground. So, you know, we're going to need the Air Force to come in and roundhouse it. Just like it says right here, the exercise term is to roundhouse it. So, you know, they're going to shoot the bombs in there and blow the place up. Now, it's going to be the job of the Marines and the Army men to get out of the area before the Air Force swoops in, because once that call is placed, they can't take it back. You know what I'm saying? So once they place that call and drop that intercom, they got to make a move, no matter if the enemy's still shooting at them and throwing bombs at them and, you know, still on the attack. They still got to get out of that area, so they can clear it. So when those planes, they swoop in, they not holding back. They're going to drop those bombs down, man. Right? So that's what that is when it says the Air Force 15 minutes to mobilization, to set things in motion, right? And then it says right here, the force readiness increase above normal levels, right? Meaning that, something's going to happen. You can suspect something to happen, so you're ready, you're prepared for it, right? You prepared for what's going to come your way, right? You have all of your artillery with you, and you're ready. Just like Kanye West was, basically he was prepared for what's going to come his way, which is coming right now, right? So basically he was letting people know that he's prepared for whatever's going to come, that the banks cutting him off, Wells Fargo, his talent agencies cutting ties with him, right? You got so-called associates in the entertainment world cutting ties with him, right? They doing him dirty, man. This is because he said he's going to go Defcon 3 on his social media, but he haven't done anything concerning Defcon 3, right? He haven't posted any terroristic acts or anything, or any probability of creating terroristic acts towards the so-called people who he's talking about. So I don't see what's the craze. He just typed that and that was it. He didn't say anything concerning an attack on these people, right? But, they're asking him, hey, you need to apologize for what you said. But what does he need to apologize for exactly? He didn't say anything. He just said that he's going to go DEFCON 3, meaning that he's going to be alert and ready and prepared to what's going to come his direction, man, right? So that's all it is, man. But that's just my little 2 cents on that. If anyone have any other thoughts concerning this, they can post it in the comment section, whatever. But if just like I said before, if you would have said DEFCON 2 or DEFCON 1, then there would have been some problems, because now, just like it says here, the exercise term for DEFCON 1, you have your cocked pistol, meaning that you're ready to shoot and fire on someone, right? And then you have your readiness, which is the maximum readiness, meaning that you're ready for combat, right? And then you have your description, which is nuclear war imminent, all right, which is a military term, meaning that you're already engaged in nuclear warfare, right? Kanye West is not engaged in nuclear warfare, right? He's not even engaged in a gun warfare, let alone a knife warfare, right? It's all verbal, okay? And then it was a post on social media, man. All right. So, just like I said before, I really don't see or understand what does he truly need to apologize for, man. Right. If anything, I would say that he's more so DEFCON 4, you know what I'm saying? Which is double take, you're doing a double take and a reevaluation on who the true people are, in which he was talking about, right? Or, the certain matters and situations that's going on or taking place around him. It makes you want to do a double take about who the people who you surrounding yourself with in the entertainment world, right? So, you're doing a double check. You're second guessing the people who you're around, right? And then, they have the readiness, which is above normal. Okay, you're alert to the people who's around you. You're alert to what's going on around you. Okay, your everyday occurrences, right? And then they have the description, which it says Intel Watch, increase security measures strengthened. Okay, so what you're doing now, you're investigating. You're checking to see, okay, well, I see that these certain people say that they are the certain people, but I'm going to do a little bit of investigation. I'm going to use my intelligence. I'm going to use my due diligence to search things out to see if this is really true. Okay. So that's basically what it is with him. I think he's more so DEFCON 4 rather than DEFCON 3. But, that's what he typed. He said he's DEFCON 3. But personally, I think he's more so 4. Speaking in his defense, right? So, just like I said, I don't really truly understand how, they're trying to persecute him for saying that he's DEFCON 3 when he's actually exercising what's written in DEFCON 4. But, I mean, hey, you tell it, right? So like I said, this is just an extension of the dietary law video that I've done a few years back, and just my little 2 cents on Kanye West and his Defcon rant, right? So once again, hopefully that this video was enjoyable. Hopefully that it was edifying. This is your brother Yahweh Yasharah from the Sea Souls of Israel, the Rock of Offense, and also the ambassadors for righteousness, the restorers of paths, and the repairers of the breach. Dropping you another video. To the next time, Shalom. Peace out. And also Ashar Rosh Kadash, right? Which is the ending. It's during the evening tide, but I have started the video still during the daylight. So, Ashar Rosh Kadash. Peace out. Shalom.